Hi everyone, I hope you are doing good. So today we will take a DSA question here, and first we will understand the question, right? And then we will understand, we will discuss some algorithms here, and at the end I will show you the code where I have implemented this algorithms, whatever we will discuss into the C++ code. So let's start the question first here. So the question is, you are given an array, right? So you will be given an array, and your task is to find the smallest number x, right? One x number you have to find such that when x is processed sequentially with each element of the array from index 0 to n minus 1, right? So it never becomes negative under the following conditions. If x is greater than the current array element and x is increased by the difference between the x and the array element. If x is greater than, then you have to basically increase the x element by the difference. And if x is less than or equals to the current array element, in that case x is decreased by the difference between the array element and x. So here you have to understand, right? Here array element and x, and here in the above condition x and array element. So that is the difference between these two conditions here. Correct. So I hope you. So first you have to understand clearly the questions. If you are not understanding the questions, you can raise a question. You can ask the question to the interviewer, whoever is asking this question to you, and you can take the help of him as well, right? With the examples also. So let's go through this example, and then let's clear our understanding, right? So here one array is given, right? So array is given is 3, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4. So this is the array which is given to us, right? And we have to calculate a number here, a number x, right? So that number should basically fulfill the conditions, given conditions, right? First and second, right? And these two conditions we will check for all each and every element of the given array, right? So that is what it is given here, from index 0 to n minus 1, right? So we will apply this condition for whatever the number we will find x on x for each and every number, right? So here for example we have taken the x is 4, right? So 4 should fulfill the conditions for the each and every element, right? So 4 is less than greater than x, 3, right? Greater than the current element 3, right? So ARR of 0 is 3, so x is greater than 3. So what we will do, so if x is greater than, right, see, if x is greater than the a of I, then in this situation what we are doing here, we are increasing the x by the difference between the x and array of element, right? So in that case what we are doing, x is equals to x plus the difference is what, x minus a of I, right? So this is the difference. And else, in else conditions what we are doing, x should be subtracted from the difference of what, a of I, right, minus x. So this is what the difference. First, we are in the first case, in the first condition, we are calculating the difference from x to x minus a of I, and here in the second condition, we are calculating the difference a of I minus x. Right. So this, so I will combine this both the conditions into one. So before that, let's understand the question first. Right. So here x is 0. So, right. Sorry, x is 4. We have taken, right, and we will check for each and every element of the array with x. So x is 4, 4 is greater than, and here I is 0, right? So I is 0 means a of I, error of I is 0 is 3, right? So x is greater than 3. So what we will do, we will increment the x by the difference, right? So difference we got is 1, 4 minus 3, that is 1. So here x becomes 5, correct? I hope you are getting it right. So what we are doing, simply we are taking the difference, right? If x, whatever the element we have chosen, we have taken, is greater than the respective array element, then we will increase that x, whatever the value x we have taken, to the difference, by the difference, right? And if that element, whatever the element we have taken, the x value is less than the respective value of the array, in that case we will decrease that x value by the difference, correct? So I hope you understood this one. So now for zeroth index, we will increase it by 1, because the zeroth value is 3, right? And our value whatever we have taken is 4. So the difference is 1. So we will increase it. So it becomes 5 here. right? And then next error of 1, the value is 4, right? And the x becomes 5, so 5 is greater than 4, so here also we will increase, and this x becomes 6 here, right? And then for the third index, 0, 1, 2, right? Second index here, the value is 3. 3 is less than the x, whatever the value we have taken, right? X becomes 6, so 3 is less than 6. So here also we will increase. Now here the difference is 3, right? How 3? So x is 3, x is here 6, right? And the error of I, that is 3, right? So here we have difference is 3. So we will add this value to x. So x is 6, so 6 plus 3, that is 9. So now x becomes 9, right? And then we will check the next number. Next is 2. 2 is also less than the x value, right? So 2 is also less than. So difference is now 7, right? So what we will do, we will add this 7 to 9. So it becomes 16 here, correct? And now for the last element, that is 4. 4 is also less than the x, right? X is 16 now. So what we will do, 16 minus 4, right? 16 minus 4, so that is 12, right? So we will add this 12 to x, right? So it becomes 28, right? So in complete array, we have processed complete array, we have applied the both the rules there, and we did not find any place where this x becomes negative, right? So this could be our answer. So this is the questions. I hope you understood this one. Now think about the solutions. How can you approach this question? What algorithms would you apply here, right? And then if you find different than mine one, then please comment below the video, so that we also get to know about your solutions, whatever you are thinking, and then we also get benefited by your solution, right? So let's start the discussing the solution here. Whatever I am thinking. 1, go. So I am thinking the one solution is brute force approach, right? Very simple approach where what I will do for each and every element, right? So for example, I will start from 1, right? For 1, I will apply the rules for the complete array, right? Then for 2, I will apply the rules for the complete array. Then 3, I'll apply the rule for the complete array. So and so on, right? So what I will do here, I will take one element here, for example k, and then I will apply the rule. So for k is equals to 1, I'll apply the same rule here, right? If so, what I will do, I will basically calculate the difference, right? And here difference would be every time what I will do, I will difference would be k, right? K minus a of I, right? So this is the calculation I will do here. Why I am doing this one? Because every time whenever k is greater than the a of I, then that time we will get the positive number, and if k is less than a of I, that time we will do the we will get the negative number, right? And whenever we add this difference to the particular x value, right? So that time the this condition, this both the rules will automatically be applied here, right? If k is greater than the x, that time it will by default it will add to the x, and if the k value is less than the a of I, in that time because we will get the negative number, right? So this negative number will be subtracted from the whatever the value we have in the x, right? So that is why I am calculating the difference by from the k minus a of I. So now once we know the logic of calculating the difference, so what I will do for each and every element, right? For each and every element, I will run a loop and through the complete array, and I will apply the logic here, right? So I have calculated difference here, same logic, right? X minus AR of I, and then here I am adding this one, x is equals to x plus diff. What I am doing here, x is equals to x plus diff, right? If diff is negative, and in which case we will get negative in the second case, right? If x is less than a of I, in that case we will get the negative, and that time we are by default subtracting, because here plus minus becomes minus, right? That is the simple rule, you know it, right? So here in one statement we are covering the both the rules here, this one and this one, correct? I hope you understood it. So now here I'm x is equals to x plus diff, and if x becomes negative, so I am breaking here from the loop, and I will say no, this is not the correct value of x, basically, right? So I'm breaking here loop, and I'm coming out and say this is not the value which should be for the x. which is not fulfilling the conditions, right? Else, if it is not breaking, in that case I am just checking all the with the all the each and every element of the array, and if the it passes the complete array, right, without going into the negative side, then we say this is the correct value. That is what we are doing here, right? So here k is 1, for example, right? So in this case, let's understand this one. So k is 1. What I will do, k is 1, I'll check for the 1 here, and then I'll check for the first element here, right? That is 3. So our array is, let me delete this one. So let's see here, k is 1, right? I will start from 1, and I'll copy this 1 to x here. So x becomes 1, right? X becomes 1, and 1 minus ARR of I. So here we have array. Array is here 3, 4, 3, 2, 4, right? Index is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So now here calculate, k is 1, right? So x becomes 1 here, x is 1, right? And here what I will do now, I will apply the complete this both the rules on complete array with one value. X is one value, right? So now what I will do, I will compare, yeah, this x value is less than the 3, right? Or I'll not do anything, I'll not compare anything. What I will do, I will just calculate the difference here, and difference is 1 minus 3, right? That is minus 2, right? And what I am doing here now, see, x is equals to x plus diff, right? So x is 1, so 1 plus equals to minus 2, right? So it would become minus 1. As soon as it becomes minus 1, we have one condition here, x is less than 0, so we will break. We will break from the inner loop here, and we will say no, this is not the correct value. We should update the value here. And here I am checking also I equals to n, means we have passed the complete array or not. So in this case I is 0 only, I is not equals to the n. We have not passed the complete array. So what I will do, I will update the k, right? So now I will check the 2, k is 2 here, and here x becomes 2. Now again what I will do, I am going the second iteration with the 2. So 2 x, now let's take the k 2, right? I have incremented k by 1, so 2 x becomes 2, correct? And I'll apply the same rule here. I will calculate the difference right here for the 0th element of the array. So the 0th element is 3, right? So 2 minus 3, that is minus 1, right? So what I will do, I will add this to the x, right? So x is 2, 2 plus minus 1, that is plus 1 basically. So it becomes 1, correct? Now again I'll go for the next element here. Next element is 4. So 4 is greater than the x value. So here also what we will do, we will calculate the difference here, right? So the difference is x is 1. So 1 minus whatever the value we have, that is 4, right? So it would be minus 3. So here we will add this minus 3 to the x value, right? So here this what we are doing, we are adding this difference with the x value. So x is 1, so 1 plus minus 3, right? So it would be minus 2. So as soon as it becomes a negative value, we will say no, this is not the correct value for the x, and we will break from the inner loop, and we will come out from the inner loop, and we will increment the x here, right? So now x becomes 3, right? And let me delete this one. So x becomes 3 now, and now 3, right? So we will apply the same rule here. So we will take the difference. So x is 3 minus, we will start from the 0 again, right? So this would be 3 minus 3, that is 0, right? We will add this 0 to x, so x becomes 3 only, right? 3 plus 0, that is 3, correct? So now again check for the second value. Second value we are checking now with the x value, right? So the second value is greater than the x, so here also we will calculate the difference here, right? So 3 minus 4, that is minus 1 here. So now minus 1 we will add to the x value, so at x becomes 2, right? So now for the third element here, we will say 3 is greater than this one, right? So here we will so basically we are not checking the condition here, 3 is greater or less than, we are directly calculating the difference, and which is fulfilling or both the rules, right? So here the x is 2, 2 minus ARR of I, that is 3. So 2 minus 3, that is minus 1, right? And we will add this minus 1 to the x, so x becomes 1 basically. X becomes 1 here, right? And then for the next element we will see, next element is 2, so we will again calculate the difference. So x is 1 and the value is 2, right? Minus 2, so that is 1 minus 1 here, right? The difference is minus 1. We will add this difference to the x value, right? So it becomes 0 now. And then again for the last element we will see the 4. So here we will calculate the difference. 0 minus 4, that is minus 4, right? So here that is minus 4, right? Minus 4. So we will add this value minus 4 to this 0, so it becomes minus 4. So for the last index, last value, it is becoming to 0. So at the end it is failing, right, to fulfill our conditions. So now we will say no, no, this is not the value because this is failing for the last index, right? So we will come out from the inner loop, and we will increment the so because this condition will not fulfill, right, I equals to n, because n is 4 here. Basically n is 5 and it is failing for the fourth, right? For one index it is failing. So we will come out and we will increment the k value here. So now k becomes 4. So we will update the x again by 4, right? And we will apply the same rule for the 4. So now for first value, let's start from the 0 again, right? So because we are starting from the 0, I equals to 0, right? So 0, so here we have x is 4, right? And the 0th value is 3. So difference is 1 plus 1. So what we will do, we will add this to the initial value of the x. So it becomes 5, correct? And then for the second element we will go, and here we have x value is 5, right? Minus the difference of a of I. A of I is 4 here, right? So here we get difference is 1. So what we will do, we will add this 1 to the x value, existing x value. So it becomes 6, correct? Now for the third element, what we will do, we have x is 6 minus 3, right? The error of I is 3, right? 3. So the difference is 3. So what we will do, we will add this 3 to the 6. So it will become 9, correct? And now again for the next element, that is the third index, right? So here we will calculate the difference. So 9 minus 2. So here we get difference of 7. So what we will do, we will add this difference to the 9, right? So it would become the 16, right? Correct? And then again for the last element here 4. So we have the x is 16 minus 4. So here we get difference of 12. So what we will do, we will add this 12 to the 16, and it would become a 28, correct? And now we are out of the array, basically, right? So now here we are here in this condition. Now this condition is fulfilling. I is 5 here, right? I becomes 5, and n is also 5, right? N is also 5. So now we can return the k, right? And k is 4. So now this could be your answer, right? So I hope you understood this one, right? The time complexity of this one, see here we are running for the k times, right? And here every time we are running from 0 to n minus 1, right? 0 to n minus 1, correct? For each k we are running the like parsing the complete array, right? So it is taking the time of we can say k into n. So this would be our time complexity for the this algorithm, right? I have added the code for this one also. So if you want the code, you can comment below the video. I'll provide the link and you can refer this algorithm, right? So now think about this one. How can we optimize this one to order of n? So think about it, pause the video, think about it, and if you find any solution, please comment below the video. So let's discuss the second algorithm, optimized approach.
3, 2, 1, go.
So I came up with this algorithm. So what I'm doing here. So basically, in the previous algorithms we have discussed, right, and where we are going from 0 to n. So here what I will do, here also we can go from 0 to n, but here what I am doing here, I am going from the nth last element to the first element. So basically, I am traversing from the back to the fourth, right, from the end to beginning, right? And here what I am doing here, I have calculated here number of elements, and right side here I am going from n minus 1 to the I equals to 0. So let's take one example here for this one. So why I have added this one, because for example 1 plus 2 becomes 3, right? And 3 by 2 becomes 1, right? So to make it 2, I'm adding here 1. So that what I will do, I will add, this is for example x value, right, and this is a of I value. So what I will do, I'll add 1 to this one. So this is 2 plus 2 now, 4 divided by 2 becomes 2. So this is the logic I have added here to make this upper bound, right? And then what I am doing here, I am adding x plus arr of I divided by 2 to x value, right? So let's understand with the example here. So the given array is 3, right, 4, 3, 2 and 4, right? And the number of element is 5 in this array, and the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, right, 4. Correct? So these are the index. And now let's take I is basically I starts from here, last index, right? And in the previous algorithms, what we have discussed, we were taking x value, right? We were assuming x value, and we are starting from 1 basically, right? And from 1 onwards, we are checking if 1 is fulfilling all the conditions. The 1 would be the answer. Second is, if 1 is not fulfilling, then we are going for the second, then third, then fourth, and fifth, right? This way we are incrementing the kth value there, right? So there we are checking for it. And here what I will do, we will go in the reverse order basically. How in reverse order? So what we were checking there, so you remember in one for 3, right? We took the k as a 3, and that k is failing for the last index, right? It was passing for all the remaining index, but for the last index, for the last value, it was going into the negative, and we are saying no, no, this is not the value because this is failing for the last index. So that is, from there I took one note, and I found I thought that this value of x, right, for the last index, the value of x must be greater than equals to 0. Are you getting this one? From that example, right, we saw for one value where basically what condition we are checking, right? The x value must be greater than equals to 0 for each and every index, right? But let's start from the last. So we have traversed through the array, and we are at the last index, and we are checking here the x value must be greater than equals to 0. So when the x value would be 0 or greater for the last index, when we see for the previous index, the value is value should fulfill this one, x plus whatever the x value having at this index should be x plus a of I divided by 2, right? So for example, for the last index here, we are calculating the previous x value, right? And how we will calculate that? The x value of this one. So here we see, right, at the last index, the minimum value of x is 0, which is accepted. Correct? So x is 0, right? And the value of last index, that is 4, and we are dividing it by 2, and we are taking it the upper bound of this one. So here we are taking 2, right? So the minimum value which is accepted at the previous index is 2, right? If the value is less than 2, then that is not the accepted value, that will fail basically, right? So here let's take one example here. So if we are taking the 1 here, right, 1, so 1 minus 4, that becomes 1 minus 4, that becomes minus 3, right? That is the difference. And once we add this difference to 1, right, then it would be 1 minus 3, that becomes minus 2, right? That is failing, right? And let's take the same example with 2 here, 2, right? So the difference would be 2 minus 4, that is minus 2, right? And add this value to the 2. So it becomes 2 minus 2, that is 0, not negative, right? So this is fulfilling our condition. So that is why I am saying here the value of x here would be x plus a of I by 2, upper bound of this one, right? And here for the same here, what we will do, we will apply the same rule here. Whatever the value of x here, that is 2, right? 2 plus 2 plus whatever the value it is having, right, that is 2, basically third index, we are calculating for the third index, right? So that is 2, right, divide by 2. So here also 2, so here also the value should be 2, correct? And then again for this index, what we will do, we will take the x of this one. So x is 2 here, and the value of this one is 3. 3 divided by 2, that is 5 by 2, right? See, I have I have told you, right, here I have added one condition to make it upper bound. So 5 by 2 would be 2, right? So I want to take the upper bound of this one, so that would be 3, right? So 5 plus 1, so here I will add 1 to this one x value. So 3 plus 3, that is 6, 6 by 2, that is 3, right? So here x becomes 3, right? And now I will calculate the x value for this one, previous x value for this one, fourth one. So what I will do, whatever the x value is 3, right? And the value of this index is 4, right? This one is 4. So why I will add this 4 by 2. So here also the C, we are getting the odd number of sum, right? So what I will do, I will add the 1 to the x. So that becomes 4. 4 plus 4, that is 8. 8 divided by 2, that is 4, right? So this x value becomes 4 here, correct? And now we are coming out of this one, right? So now see here for the we got the 4. So I hope you understood the logic. Let's do the dry run again, right? I am doing again it in the systematic way, right? So that you can better understand it. If you understood already, then that is well and good. Otherwise, you can see it quickly again. Right? So let's see, I is equals to n minus 1, that is 4, right? And now what we will do, for x value we have took 0, right? Initially we have took it 0, and n is 5 here, right? N is 5, number of elements is 5, so we have taken I is n minus 1, see here n minus 1, so 4, right? Now what we will do, now what I am doing here, I will check x plus arr of I, x plus arr of I, arr of I, that is 4, 4 is 4, right? Fourth element is 4, right? So 0 plus 4, that is 4, right? That is even. So I am not doing anything here, right? I am just calculating the x again. So x would be here 0 plus 4 divided by 2, that is 2, right? So x becomes 2 here, correct? And now I'll go up and I'll decrement the I. So now I am here, right? So here I is 3. So see, for the third index the value is 2 and x is 2. So 2 plus 2 divided by 2, that is 2, correct? So I'll update the x is 2, right? And then again I'll go up and decrement the I. So I becomes 2 now, right? Here the x value is 2. I becomes here 2, right? So now x is 2. So and the value of this index, second index is 3. So here 2 plus 3, that is 5. 5 is fulfilling this condition. This is odd number. So what I will do, I'll add the I'll update the x by 1, right? Either you can add the 1 to the sum, or you can add the 1 to any of the number, right? That is also fine. So I am adding 1 to this one, right? 1 here. So 1 plus 2, that is 3. 3 plus 3, that is 6, right? Divide by 2, that is 3, right? So x is becoming 3, right? So here x is becoming 3, and now I am again going up, right? And I am basically decrementing the I value, so that becomes 1 here, right? We are here 1, and here the value of 1 is 4, right? So 4 plus 3, right? X is 3, 4 is the number, so 4 plus 3, that is also even. So what I will do, I will add one number to 8, right? So it would be 8 divided by 2, that becomes 4, correct? So the x value becomes 4 here, right? And then we will check for the last element. So x becomes 4 here, and now we will decrement this one, I equals to 0, right? So 0 is fulfilling the condition. So I 0, right? And for 0 the x is 4, right? X is 4 plus the value of this is 3, that is odd, so we will add 1 to it and divide by 2, that becomes 4. So now this is 4, and now we say that we are coming out of this one, and now x is 4, x is 4, that is our basically output. This is our output. So and this is we are doing in the order of n, right? See, we are only iterating the complete array one time, right? So this is, or the time complexity is order of n. I hope you understood the algorithm here, right? Both the algorithms. Let's see the code and try the some use case. This is the code I have added here. This is the brute force approach, right? You can look into it. What I will do, I will run the use case with the second approach, right? Here, this one. So if you want the code link, you just comment below the video. I'll provide the link there, and then you can like take this code, right? So here this is the main helper code where we can taking the input and output. So let me build this one. Let's run the exe 04, right? So here this is asking for the number of elements. So let's take the same example here. So the example is the elements are 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4. So 5, 3, 4, 3, 2, 4. So this was our array. Now see, let's the array result is 4, and here also we are getting 4, right? This is the result we are getting 4, right? So I hope you understood this one. Let's run the for the other array. So let's take for example, the array is having only one element, right? So one element. Then see, here one element we are taking 2. So here we are getting the 1. Here 1 is the minimum number which is fulfilling the condition. In case of we have only one element, and how it is fulfilling the condition? See, 1 is the x value, right? And 1 is less than this one, so we will take the difference of this one and divide by this one. So 1 minus 2, that is minus 1, right? And we will add this minus 1 to 1, that becomes 0 only, not going into the negative side, right? It is becoming at 0 only, right? And see, for example, we are taking 1, right? And if we see 1 here, 3, so in that case we are getting the 2, which 2 is the output here, not the 1. So that is the correct answer. You can try this with the multiple use cases. So for example, 2, right? The value is 1, and for example 2, right? So what is the value? 1, right? The other use case you can say, so see here 5 is the output. So you can try multiple use cases here. I am coming out of it because we have tried it with multiple use cases. So I hope you understood both the algorithms, the code you understood. I hope I tried my best to make these algorithms simple for you so that you can understand it easily. So that's all from my side. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring.